Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and today we're going to be talking about, first off, some basic information on the upcoming FPS module, Star Marine, and then moving on to share some of my expectations and what I would like to see. Now, the expected date is around about the 8th. Keep in mind that this date can change slightly. We're going to see a 12v12 and then obviously smaller tier matches going down. We have a lot of new weapons coming in and grenades as well. We'll have vaulting, frag grenades, there's going to be loads of new stuff, and also we're going to see some new animations as well. Now, most of you have probably watched the live stream video, or probably seen other videos now, talking about Star Marine and FPS. And over the past week, I've been thinking about it quite a bit. Star Citizen is trying to create a game that sort of beats every other game from a visual point of view, and also add value in the particular areas it's covering. We've got loads and loads of FPS games out there. Some of them are tactical shooters, some of them are faster FPS games. Now, Star Citizen are going for the tactical FPS shooter. Now, there is challenges with calling yourself a tactical shooter. The way that I would see a tactical shooter is slightly more slower paced than a lot of the sort of newer titles of FPS shooters, where there's sort of a lot more fast pace. But a lot of that comes down to the player base and who you're playing with. It's all well and good having lots and lots of gadgets and tools. We've also seen some of the gadgets that are going to be coming in, and one of them's a shield. Now, I hope that Star Citizen, if they're going down that line of a tactical shooter, they've got to make these items viable to physically use. You see a lot of games where they have classes, whether it's medic, supporting class, sniper classes, probably the majority of the time, and some games get it right. You do get a lot of them supporting classes that people tend not to pick, i.e. if it had a very, very good weapon, then clearly you would pick it. So I think there's definitely a big challenge there for them to get them supporting roles working really well. We've got hundreds of FPS games out there. My take, what I would like to see is I would like to see a good FPS from a hitbox point of view. I mean, this is long term. Am I really expecting them to get brilliant hitbox detection out of the box? Clearly not. I'm seeing 2.6 is the first real version, really, of the FPS mechanic. It probably falls into the realm of Arena Commander 1.1 or 1.2, which is a positive thing. Positive in the way that it will develop over time and improve. Let's just say they had good hitbox detection, ping, all the basic stuff that really make a FPS good from a semi-competitive point of view. Star Citizen in each area they're trying to create something that is better than everything else we've seen before. I would like to see them really, really work on these animations and show us something that we've never seen before. I'm confident that over the period of time that the hitbox detection, the ping, the server locations, as the game grows, that will improve. Not just necessarily from a server point of view, but from a code point of view. The cover mechanics are good. I like the fact that you don't have to just walk round the corner and show your whole body. That is very, very annoying in some games where that is really the only option. Like I said, they're going for a tactical sort of shooter, so they have to give us really cover mechanics and so on. One of the things that I didn't like so far that I've seen that I'm pretty confident is going to change. The hit detection, when you actually shoot someone, they twitch. I can't stand that, guys. They need to be removing that. I would rather not have the twitch in game, personally. I'll tell you why I don't like what I saw regarding the hit mechanic when you actually shoot someone, the animation. It reminded me of Armor. When you shoot the AI, they twitch. If they only did it once, and you shot them once and they twitch maybe, and made the animation look a little bit better, fair enough. But if you're using an automatic rifle, they twitch until they die, and it just really breaks that immersion in the game. They need to come up with another solution to this. I've seen a lot of games in the past where that's never been resolved. I'm not saying that Star Citizen are not going to resolve it. I have no doubt they will. And this rolls into what I was saying earlier about the animations, making everything run really smooth, make it look like we've never seen before. The way that the character turns on the spot, the way that he stops, the way that he starts. I think these things are really, really important. I agree, going back to what I said earlier, regarding the hitbox and the core mechanic of the game from an FPS point of view should be there. But that's sort of really expected. I'm expecting that. That should just be there from an FPS point of view. But for Star Citizen to take FPS to another level, they really, really need to push these animations and make it look silky smooth and amazing. And that would also aid with immersion as well. I see the classes very similar to ships over the period of time, and it will evolve over time. The positive thing is that Star Citizen obviously has the backers to Q&A and test and give them feedback. So over the period of next year, I definitely think that the FPS mechanic will evolve in a good way, and we will get these classes that are well defined and are useful. A lot of the games that we see at the moment, I mean, Star Citizen's quite unique in the development process. With a normal FPS game, they go out and build the game and they release it. They release it with all the classes, they're ready to go, and they get some feedback. The weapon might be a little bit overpowered. In Star Citizen's case, they're releasing classes at a time, getting the feedback, evolving the classes throughout the build process. So ultimately, the end product's going to be, I like to think is going to be, much better because it will be driven from the player base. And the last thing I suppose really, which is going to be really handy, which is the most significant thing, it'd be good just to jump in a game and have a few games, wouldn't it? Because even Star Citizen have highlighted a few times, at the moment, if you want to jump into Star Citizen and do a little bit of FPS, there is quite a lengthy journey you have to take to go and get into some sort of combat. And then when you do, questionable, some people might say it's griefing, some people say it's not. At least when you go into an FPS battle, once these modes are in place, the idea is to shoot each other. It's quite clear, isn't it? So there's no issues there with doing that. And that way that it's a lot easier to iron out and progress the mechanics a lot faster in that type of environment than it is what we currently have in the Persistent universe or the mini Persistent universe. So that's some of my thoughts on the FPS and what's upcoming. Let me know what you would like to see and what your expectations are. And that's just not just in this particular patch. This is over a longer period of time. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.